Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if you are new here, and for today's video we're going to be doing another Funko Pop video, which a long time no see the Funko Pop videos, but I'm finally back on it. I'm doing what I've been talking about for a very long time. This is why the funk is this not a Funko, because these are some Funko Pops that I wish existed or that I think should exist by now. But if you do not know me, my name is Emily. I post a lot of Funko Pop videos, outfit idea videos, Disney videos, love a good Disney vlog, lifestyle stuff, favorites, videos, things like that. So if any of that interests you, you can subscribe. The button is somewhere down there. So if you did not know, I do collect Funko Pops. I have a video on my channel about Funko Pops and it has like 8,000 views, which is just mind-boggling to me. I can't believe so many people have seen that. If I knew that many people were going to see that, I probably would have never made that video, because 8,000 people, like, eek! So many people have seen that video. So I started doing like other videos that deal with Funkos, because I don't have anybody in my life that I actually know that collects them or has them. So I like to make videos about them online so I can like talk to other people that do have them. So I thought for today's video I would talk about some Funkos that I wish existed, and I have like a little list written in this little binder, and I basically unknowingly I started making this list before I even had a YouTube channel. So I went and found this list the other day, and there's some stuff I put on this list in like 2020, like spring 2020, which I didn't start posting on YouTube until summer of 2020. So I started this list over 2 years ago, and some of the ideas on it, I'm like, Emily, why did you put that down as something you wanted to exist? And it was just what I was feeling at the moment. I wanted a Funko of XYZ, so I thought we would talk about it today. So without further ado, this is Why the Funk Is There Not a Funko of That? Because there should be, by Emily Nels. So I have a list here. They're not really in an organized manner. I'm just going to talk about different things on the list as we go. So a couple things on this list have already came to life and exist now, but I had my Queenie Lapras was on this list. She was up near the top of the list, but they actually did make a Lapras Funko. Lapras is a Pokemon if you did not know, but they did make a Lapras Funko, so she is no longer applicable to the list. And then another one that was on my list that did come to life was the Cinderella castle at Magic Kingdom. That was always like a goated Funko. I always wanted that to exist, and now it exists. So no longer why the funk isn't this a Funko? It is now why the funk do I not own this Funko? But on the same lines of the Magic Kingdom thingamabob, I'm wondering why the funk have they not made the other thingamabobs? The other like what are they called? Landmarks, I guess? But I think they honestly might be, because I did see the other day they are making a Tower of Terror Funko Exhibit A. But where's the Tree of Life, I may ask, because homegirl here is Dak Stan. I love Disney's Animal Kingdom. Dak. And they don't have that yet. Also, I would love the Epcot ball, because even though Dak is my favorite park, I feel like I have the most fun at Epcot. Those two I want to exist. I think they will probably exist at some point because they've already made Tower of Terror. But also, I didn't have this on my list, but now that we're talking about it, I want that giant hat back. You know that hat that was at MGM Studios, now Hollywood Studios, the Sorcerer's hat? I would prefer to have that put back than the Tower of Terror. It's more just like an icon to me. Everybody knows the Hollywood Tower Hotel, but you know what I know? That big hat. So I want that big hat. I would have a big hat Funko. I could even probably wear it as a hat. Another Disney one that I have mentioned before, I wish this existed on my channel, which is one of the reasons I was even going to do this video, was because I love Hocus Pocus. I'm a Hocus Pocus stan. That's probably like my second favorite movie of all time. I think that movie is such a banger, and you watch it every single fall, every single Halloween. Best Halloween movie in my opinion. But they make a Funko of pretty much every single main character in that franchise, aside from Max Dennison, and I don't know why. Where is he? Why doesn't he have one? Because like you can get the Three Witches, you can get Billy Butcherson, the zombie guy, you can even get Danny and Binks, but why can't you get Max? They also don't have Allison, but I feel like she's more of a side character. I understand why you'd have the Three Witches, kind of understand why you'd have the zombie, but I don't understand why you would have Danny and Binks without Max. I understand she's more of an iconic look. We would probably be able to tell that's Danny from Hocus Pocus more than we would be able to tell it's Max, but if you want them as a whole set, I think you need them as a whole set. So we need to get Max Dennison on the Funko train, so I will add him to the letter I'm writing to Mr. Funko. Dear Mr. O, I need a Max Dennison Funko. Emily, send. Another Funko Pop that I think they should make more of is I want them to make more of the cast of Arthur. If you do not know, I'm also an Arthur stan. I think Arthur is the best like animated show, especially animated children's show of all time, and I will die on this hill. I'm a hardcore Arthur stan. A-A-R-D-V-A-R-K. Aardvark. Arthur the Aardvark is just, he's an icon, he's a moment, he's legendary. Literally, let me show you what I bought the other day that has Arthur on it. I bought a stained glass like window catcher that's like a paint by like number kind of order ordeal that has Arthur on it to hang up in my apartment. So I want them to make more of the Arthur characters. Like I want a Buster Baxter, I want a Binky Barnes, I want a Muffy Crosswire. Muffy, ooh, my queen Muffy. What an icon. I've always liked to ask people that were like around in my generation, who do you think I would be if I was an Arthur? Most of the time people say Francine, which I can see that, she's sporty. So I would love Francine, Prunella, the Brain. I would watch Arthur today if it was on the TV streaming right now. I would still be watching Arthur. So I want the rest of the Arthur gang, the Elwood City, Sugar Bowl, give me Mr. Ratburn, give me Mr. Rogers, Michelle Kwan, the Backstreet Boys were even on Arthur. Arthur literally pulled so many like high profile guest stars. They had the guy, who's that guy on the bike? Something Armstrong. Lance Armstrong was on Arthur. Yo-Yo Ma. Yo-Yo Ma was on Arthur. Okay? Nobody's doing it like Arthur, okay? Also, another one of my like ride or die hard shows that I would love for the rest of my life is Glee. I'm a huge Gleek. I would have killed to been the Gleek of the week back in the day, but they've not made Glee Funkos, and I feel like maybe it's just because the moment has passed. Glee aired in 2009, from 2009 to 2015, and I feel like the moment is maybe just gone. People do still watch Glee, but honestly, it has not aged well at all. It's aged like milk, to be honest, but it was like such a moment, and at the time, it was everything to me. It still is a big part of my heart. They were my #1 artist on Spotify last year. Did you know that? But yeah, I would love the Glee cast. I don't think I would buy every single one of them. I say that now, but you'd probably see me with a full choir room. But I would definitely get like Rachel Finn. I would want the Cheerios. I would want Curtin Blaine. Another musical person that I think should have a Funko by now is Taylor Swift. I don't know why she doesn't have one. Maybe something like with legality, she just doesn't want one. I don't really know, but I feel like she has enough of an iconic look to get one, and people will probably be able to tell it's Taylor Swift. She has a lot of iconic eras. My favorite era is probably, oh, that's hard. I feel like sometimes it's Reputation. I feel like sometimes it's Red. My favorite album rotates between those two and Evermore. I don't think I would buy it unless it was one of my favorite eras. I am a Swiftie, don't get me wrong, but I'm only a Swiftie when I'm feeling it, you know? I need Red, I need Reputation, I need Evermore, and I'll be a Swiftie all day long. I need a Taylor. But I think she should have one by now. I do think Taylor Swift should have one. I don't know what the bulk is. I imagine they've reached out and she's just like not having it or something like that, because she's Taylor Swift. She should have a Funko, right? Dear Miss Swift, why aren't you a Funko fan? Question mark? Emily. I asked Chris if he thought anybody should have a Funko that doesn't have one, and he said he would like a Kid Cudi Funko. Kid Cudi is his like favorite like musician rapper type person, so he would want a Kid Cudi Funko, and I want them to make one for him on his own behalf. Dear Scott Messkitty. Funko question mark? Also, another show that I love that I feel like they could have made Funkos back in the day, but I feel like they missed the boat because now they have like other merch that's similar to Funkos, is The Impractical Jokers. I think that show is so funny. I really enjoy it. I always thought they could have Funkos made out of them, but then they made something along the lines that are like kind of like action figures of themselves. So it's like, why would they have Funkos if they already have like these little like figurines of themselves? But I would have bought those actually. I know recently there was like some sort of rift, something happened, and like Joe had to leave the show. So now it's just like a quartet. No, a quartet's 4. It's just like a 3-tet. What'd you even call that? A trio. A 3-tet Emily. I also have a few other stuff I was very into at the time, but I'm no longer into. I would like a Funko of the big balls from Wipeout. Why, you ask? Because when I was about 10 or 11, I was obsessed with Wipeout. I loved Wipeout. I thought it was so freaking funny. Those people like run across the big balls and like fall down. I mean, I had the game for the Wii. I would like literally watch compilations oh my god of Wipeout on YouTube. And then I remember in like the end of 2019, I don't know what the word it was, but I got so mad sick. Like I literally missed Christmas. I was that sick. I literally spent Christmas alone in this apartment, and the only thing I could think that I wanted to watch that would make me feel better was Wipeout. So I like fell into this hole of just only watching Wipeout. I would say look up the look up the compilations. On YouTube of Wipeout. But if I did see a big ball Funko, I would still buy it. I do think though it would kind of look like the Kool-Aid Man when I vision it in my head, what it would look like, just a little red ball with the 2 eyes and feet. I would love that. Also, do y'all remember Ballsy? If y'all watched Wipeout, he was like the little ball that would sit on top of the big ball. That would actually be a really good idea if they did the big red ball with Ballsy on top. Dear Ballsy. Also, another big phase I went through, I was obsessed with Worst Cooks in America at one point. Every single Sunday night, channel 231 on Dish. Or is it 110? Channel 110 on the Dish. I was there watching Worst Cooks in America. Specifically, the seasons I loved were Anne Burrell and Bobby Flay. They were so golden. I absolutely loved that show, and I actually made some of the recipes they made on there. Like, that's how into this show I was. I literally had it on the DVR. My favorite season was the one where this lady was named Erica, and she couldn't figure out how to pronounce the word tofu. She kept calling it tofu. But the old seasons, ooh, love it. Also, this wasn't on my list, but while I was talking about old shows I used to be into, I'll put her on the list too. I think she should have one. We should get Honey Boo Boo a Funko, because if you don't know Honey Boo Boo, you better redneck an eyes, because we love Honey Boo Boo. Her and Glitzy the pig. Woo. Fun fact, me and my best friend, we've been best friends for like over a decade now. One of the first things we ever bonded over was our love for Honey Boo Boo. If you don't know who Honey Boo Boo is, I'm sure you all know who Honey Boo Boo is, right?
Me Honey Boo Boo Child.
Dollar makes me holler, Honey Boo Boo.
Me Honey Boo Boo Child.
Yeah, her. That show, especially like the first couple seasons, they seemed like such a real family, such like an everyday, just like having fun, doing whatever they want to do. I know some like drama happened later on, and probably still now with like Mama June and all that, so we don't need a Funko of Mama June.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Maybe if she gets it together, we can consider it. Right now, just Alana, maybe even Pumpkin, the sister, Chubbs, what was her name? Ooh. They called her Chubbs, which, looking back, that's probably mean. Their nicknames were Chickadee, Chubbs, Pumpkin, and Honey Boo Boo. They did Jessica dirty calling her Chubbs. That wasn't nice. But yeah, I think we could do with the sisters. Honey Boo Boo, Sugar Bear we don't need. His new wife we definitely don't need. She seems really bad. But I think a lot of it's scripted on the new show. But yeah, I do love Honey Boo Boo. We can get Honey Boo Boo a Funko. Dear Alana, you better redneck an eyes. Dollar makes me holler, Honey Boo Boo. Also, another thing, I think honestly, I've never mentioned this on my channel before, but I think this was a gateway into my love for Funkos, because when I was a kid, I kid you not, I don't know how my parents afforded to get me all these things. I really don't know, because they were expensive, and like we didn't have that much money growing up, so I don't know how I managed to collect as many of these as I did. But I had in the realm of either 340 or 350 Littlest Pet Shops, and I feel like that was just my gateway into the Funko world, because Littlest Pet Shops were just like a little stepping stone, into the Funkos. But I think it would be so cool if they collabed, so you could have like the aspects of both merged into one, and I just think it'd be so cool. And I was very into Littlest Pet Shops, and I did keep them all because that was my thing. I love Littlest Pet Shops. They already do make a Polly Pocket Funko. She was my other favorite toy. Polly Pocket was the Island Queen. They do make a Polly Pocket, but it's like the old school grandma Funko. I have her. She looks like this. But I want like the trendy Polly Pocket that had like the gummy clothing and like the ponytail and the brown hair. I mean, blonde hair. She was a cutie. I loved my Polly Pocket icon. Hasbro. Next, someone I want to get is somebody I do not understand why they have not made Funko Pops of like this genre yet. I really don't get it. But I don't understand why they haven't like merged into like Nintendo. I'm sure they've tried, but they maybe just not been able to. But I want a Princess Peach Funko very, very badly, because whenever we play like Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Party, I'm always Peach. They don't make any of them. Like, they don't make Mario, they don't make Luigi, they don't make Boo Ghost, any of that stuff. But I want Peach. They don't make them yet, and I wonder why. Nintendo. Also, another one in that realm that I would buy is Yoshi, but I want to get the pink Yoshi. I want to get the pink Yoshi specifically because whenever we play Yoshi's Crafted World, I'm always pink. I'm the little pink Yoshi. Another video game character that definitely deserves one by now is Kirby. Why y'all doing Kirby like that? Kirby needs a Funko. I know he would be kind of hard to do because he's round and Funkos are like edged off. They have like some squares, but I think Kirby should have one. Does he not have a Grammy? I think Kirby literally won a Grammy not too long ago, and they covered up the Target balls with Kirby. Here I am with it. Kirby got his own ice cream at what's what's that place called? They like chop it up. Cold Stone. Kirby, honestly, I bet his next stop is the Hollywood Walk of Fame because Kirby, my man is doing it, but he doesn't have a Funko yet. He's Kirby, okay? Kirby fully loaded. Along the same lines of that, one that I want but I think would be kind of hard to make is Jigglypuff. You know Jigglypuff from Pokemon? Also, side note, I think her and Kirby would totally date. Do you not think so? I think they'd be such a cute couple because like Kirby's like really sweet, but I imagine Jigglypuff's a little sassy, but I think they could like make a really good couple, so I ship them. But I think Jigglypuff would be a really cute Funko if they could just figure out how to do her like a little bit circularly, because obviously Funkos are not circles. But also, how are they gonna do the big balls? Circle. I guess it's because you could give the big ball legs, whereas like you can't really give Jigglypuff legs because that would just look weird. Kirby does have feet, but they have to be like short. You can't be having Kirby with like muck boots on. Anyway, I want Kirby and Jigglypuff. I am obsessed with Fall Guys. I think Fall Guys is so much fun. I have not won the crown yet, but I try so hard. I want to win so bad one day, but I have never won and I want to so bad. Wouldn't that be such a big accomplishment to say you actually beat all those 60 people in there and won? Am I setting my sights too low? That would be my biggest accomplishment. And I wanted to make some sort of like Funko Fall Guys type thing, and I just love Fall Guys. I play it almost every single day. Another, I think the last like kind of like cartoon character I put on here is Missy from Big Mouth. If you haven't seen Big Mouth, it's kind of like a crude cartoon that's like for adults. I think it's kind of like Rick and Morty, but it might be like a little bit more out there than Rick and Morty, like out there like rough humored. I've never seen that much of Rick and Morty. I have seen Bob's Burgers, which I consider pretty tame. I love Bob's Burgers. I do like Big Mouth, but sometimes stuff does happen on that show and I'm like, I wish I hadn't seen that. You know, that scene with Andrew in the helicopter, I can't get it out of my head. I wish I hadn't thought about that again. Oh god. But Missy is my favorite character on that. She wears little blue overalls with a little yellow shirt. She looks like a little minion, which I just love. Very on brand for me. I just think she's so cute. They do make like Andrew and Nick, I think, from Big Mouth, and maybe like the little monsters, like the little Marty is his name. Is that his name? Marty? No, I'm thinking of Morty. I don't know what his name is. He's a brown fluffy thing. And they make him, but they don't make Missy yet, and I want them to make Missy, so she's on my list. Okay, this next one, I don't know when I put this on here, but I honestly feel like it might be a little distasteful because that might be why it doesn't exist, but I put the Titanic ship on this list, which they do make Rose, they do make Jack, but it's like, I feel like the thing that is iconic that ties them into being iconic is the Titanic ship, okay? If I just saw Jack, I would not know that is Jack Dawson. If I saw Rose and she's holding the necklace, I could probably put 2 and 2 together, but not guaranteed. But if you put them on that ship, I know that ship is the Titanic. It was like, why don't they make the Titanic? Why haven't they made the Titanic is what I was thinking, and then I'm like, maybe because it was like a, was it an international disaster or just a national disaster? Did the Titanic come from America? Where's my, hey Siri, the Atlantic Ocean. Ooh. God, I didn't know you were up there. Where's the Titanic from? Hello? Hey Siri, where's the Titanic from?
The answer I found is Northern Ireland.
I guess it was via international disaster then. Northern Ireland. Well, I guess that's maybe why they don't have one, because like something bad happened to it. But I don't know, I feel like they make a lot of merch at like the Titanic shop in Tennessee that has like the Titanic on it. Maybe because the Funko is like a toy. Maybe it's just not too tasteful to have a toy of something that bad happened to. Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
Where was the Titanic headed?
The answer I found is Atlantic Ocean.
Where was it headed?
Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
Where was the Titanic supposed to dock?
Here's an answer from cheatsheet.com. It was originally supposed to travel across the Atlantic Ocean and dock in New York City.
Oh, so it was headed to New York. I guess it's distasteful to have a Funko of a boat that crashed and people got hurt, you know, and worse. Sorry. On a lighter note, the next thing I put on this list was a Krispy Kreme donut. I think we should have one of a Krispy Kreme donut. I know they make the little bags of like Hostess donuts, which I will say those are good. I do enjoy those little donuts, especially the little powder ones. Those remind me of like going back to school in the morning.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Let me know your opinion. Are y'all a Krispy Kreme kind of person, a Krispy Kreme kind of person, or are y'all a Dunkin' kind of person? Because I'm a North Carolinian and I personally think Krispy Kreme is our best export. Nobody out Krispies the cream. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, no, we don't know what you're saying. We already clicked out. But Chris agrees. He says he would take a stale Krispy Kreme donut over a fresh Dunkin' any day. Anywho, I think the Krispy Kreme donut should have one. Especially like, you know that hot and ready sign? Krispy Kreme lets you know when it's hot and ready. Dunkin' doesn't do that. Dunkin' just says, come on in, they're always stale. I honestly shouldn't be a hater. I feel like I have had a Dunkin' donut before and it was fine. It's just like Krispy Kreme is where it's at, you know, so Krispy Kreme donut deserves one. And then we've made it to the last thing on the list is ye old Bucky. I think Bucky should have his own Funko, especially now. If you don't know what Bucky's is, it's basically just like a huge China. It's basically just like a big convenience store, like gas station type thing mixed with like a Hobby Lobby. It basically kind of reminds you of those stores in like Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. They have a lot of homeware stuff, but you can also get gas there. You can get food there. It's kind of like a Walmart gas station Hobby Lobby combo. He does not have a Funko, and they do sell Funkos there because they sell everything there. So it's like, why don't you have a Funko? Why the fuck isn't that a Funko? He has so much merchandise. It's really wild to believe he doesn't already have a Funko. So I think they should give Bucky his own Funko by now. They should get in contact. Let me. Bucky. So yeah, those are some of the Funkos, pretty much all the Funkos I have in my brain right now that I think should exist that currently don't. If I come up with more in the future, I'll do a part 2 to this video. But you can let me down below if you have any other requests for Funko videos that I can do. But I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you all super soon with another video. Bye guys! All the eyes on me, all the eyes are all on me, yeah!
All the eyes on me, all the eyes are all on me, all the eyes on me.